SFS monoculture, in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. The good is the monoculture is driven by a few, I'd say a handful of people and VC firms.
Well, what is it? What is the monoculture? How would you describe it?
Monoculture is everyone's just talking about the same thing, working on the same thing, have no diversity of thought or limited. So monoculture is people working on the same trend, sometimes called a fad, and it's driven by a few people or a few.
Like climate change was one, birds was another, DTC was another one. Now it's AI. These are all trends.
These are all trends. And yes, some of them obviously end up adding a lot of value, like mobile as a trend added a lot of value to the world. And once it was like, oh, iPhone is out and mobile apps are the thing, you'll see 90 out of 100 people in the Bay Area are just working on mobile apps. As they do that, they just focus on making money in that thing or building products in that particular thing. And what I see is like it's very limited diversity of thinking from folks who are working on completely different angle. So in Bay Area, you would not see founders working, I'm just making it up, like something in fashion or retail or something like that. I'm not in San Francisco right now. I'm not living there right now. But as I go there, I talk to founders. You cannot talk to anyone without talking about AI. That's the only thing that's on everyone's mind.
Right. Now, not all VCs are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Thiel is anti-consensus, I would say. But I think in general, you're right. Most of VC is consensus around a theme, and they're always selling the future.
And I also think it's more true for the Bay Area than anywhere else. There's always a bubble of sorts. So we call this ZERP of 2021. I think it just expanded to all the categories, but there's always some hype that's being driven in the Bay Area. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. Like AI obviously is going to create a lot of value in the world. Right now, the valuations are far ahead of that value. And in my humble opinion, I think value is understated and values are overstated in AI right now because value is just going to be created in the long run. This concept of American dynamism and bringing manufacturing back to the US. Someone worked on it, someone worked on this concept and said, let's do more manufacturing in the US. And it's going to be super valuable in the long run. But now people will just congregate around this theme and will just try to do a lot of stuff for that particular theme.
I agree. So what you're saying is like there's always a bubble, number one. Number two, that means valuation is high. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. We saw Cohere a few weeks ago had a financing at a 200 plus ARR, which is higher than the 100 times annual recurring revenue valuation that we saw in 2021. Now, one of the founders wrote this seminal paper, which I think will go down in the annals of human history, called Attention is All You Need, which birthed the transformer model. But is that worth a 200 plus? I can read the paper. Maybe he'll find the next paper and not publish it, I suppose. But so you're seeing that in AI.